Oppenheimer confronts a terrifying question. Can science go too far? The atomic bomb was a new era of warfare, one where entire cities could be wiped off the map in a single instant. The film's ending isn't just visually stunning, it's a powerful commentary on the ethical responsibility of scientists and the potential consequences of unchecked ambition. Was Oppenheimer a hero or a villain? Did the film offer a glimpse into a potential future or a cautionary tale for the present? In this video, we'll dive deep into the moral complexities of Oppenheimer and the ending that'll leave you pondering the power we wield and the responsibility that comes with it. Let's get philosophical. But before that, click that red subscribe button and stay with me until the end of the video. Oppenheimer. This epic biographical thriller, directed, written, and produced by the one and only Christopher Nolan, takes us on a journey through the fascinating life of J. Robert Oppenheimer. You know, the brilliant mind behind the development of the first nuclear weapons during World War II? Cillian Murphy stepped into the shoes of Oppenheimer himself, bringing to life the complexities of this legendary physicist. And he's not alone. Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek, and Kenneth Branagh joined the cast, adding layers of depth to this captivating story. It doesn't just scratch the surface. Oh no, it gets deep into Oppenheimer's academic journey, his pivotal role at the Los Alamos laboratory, and the aftermath of a security hearing that shook the nation in 1954. But it's not all about science and equations. This film features ethical dilemmas, moral quandaries, and the human side of scientific progress. With Nolan at the helm, you know you're in for a cinematic experience like no other. His masterful direction, combined with stellar performances from the cast, ensures that Oppenheimer leaves a lasting impression. Now, let's talk about the ending of Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy delivered a performance that'll give you chills, portraying the enigmatic physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer. But hold on, because this closing scene isn't your typical chronological wrap-up. Nope, it's actually a scene we saw early on, but now see through a different lens, adding layers of depth and complexity to the story. Remember that scene by the water where Oppenheimer meets with Albert Einstein with Louis Strauss lurking in the background? Yeah, that one. At first glance, it seemed like a serious conversation, but the details were shrouded in mystery. All we knew was that Einstein walked away with a somber expression, leaving Strauss behind. But as the film goes on, we revisit this moment multiple times, revealing its significance bit by bit. We're taken on a journey through Oppenheimer's life, from the inception of the Los Alamos laboratory to the fallout of his decisions. Christopher Nolan masterfully weaves together past and present, showing us how each moment led to the next. And through it all, that pivotal scene by the water remains a focal point, tying together the threads of the narrative. Let's talk performances. Cillian Murphy knocks it out of the park as Oppenheimer, capturing the complexity of the man behind the science. And with Robert Downey Jr. as Louis Strauss, the tension is palpable, adding an extra layer of drama to the mix. But what is the last scene all about? Oppenheimer's haunted by the effects of what he made. He imagines the destruction that nuclear war would cause. He sees in his mind's eye the Earth being destroyed by the weapon he helped make real. It's a scary reminder of how much power we have and how terrible the results of our deeds can be. Oppenheimer is worried about more than just the damage, though. He feels like he's looking into the quantum world when he looks at raindrops on a pond. Even the smallest particles have a lot of power. Atoms are a bit like those raindrops. They don't seem like much, but they can release unimaginable forces. Oppenheimer thinks about how big of a deal he's done in the last few seconds. The atomic bomb, which was once his greatest success, now stands for the terrible effects of a global disaster. He comes to a sobering understanding that makes him think about the effects of what he did. As the movie comes full circle and Oppenheimer thinks about the raindrops again, it's a powerful reminder of how everything is linked. It's like the quantum world and the physical world are connected and have big effects on each other. After all the drama and fallout from the events in the movie, Oppenheimer decided to step out of the limelight. He packed up his bags and took his family to St. John in the Virgin Islands. But he wasn't just chilling on the beach. He kept himself busy by giving lectures and speaking out about the dangers of scientific discoveries falling into the wrong hands. With Einstein and a bunch of other brainy folks, Oppenheimer co-founded the World Academy of Art and Science. He He also landed a gig as the director of Princeton's Institute for Advanced Study in 1947. Clearly, the man wasn't about to sit idly by and watch the world go by. Now, you might think he'd be bitter about the whole security hearing debacle, but Oppenheimer stayed true to his love for science. Sure, he didn't go full-on anti-nuclear like some of his pals, probably because of the whole security clearance mess, but that didn't stop him from keeping the scientific discussions alive and kicking. Despite the setbacks, Oppenheimer's contributions during World War II didn't go unnoticed. In fact, President Kennedy thought he deserved some recognition and awarded him the Enrico Fermi Award in 1963. But alas, life had more twists in store for Oppenheimer. In 1965, he got hit with a serious blow: throat cancer. Sadly, he lost the battle with it in February 1967. It was a tough end for a man whose legacy still echoes in the halls of science today. But even though his influence was tarnished by the whole security clearance mess, Oppenheimer's passion for science never wavered. When it comes to comparing Oppenheimer's ending in the movie to his real-life story, there's a lot of accuracy to appreciate. However, there are some details, like Oppenheimer's conversation with Einstein, that are more of a creative embellishment than a historical fact. While we can't know for sure what they talked about, it's not far-fetched to imagine these two brilliant minds having a chat. Overall, though, the movie does a solid job of sticking to the known facts. Little details like Kitty not shaking Teller's hand or John F. Kennedy's role in Louis Strauss's failed cabinet appointment add to the authenticity. Christopher Nolan deserves credit for weaving these historical elements into the narrative, giving the film a sense of realism that's hard to ignore. While some liberties may be taken for the sake of storytelling, the movie's commitment to staying true to the essence of Oppenheimer's story is commendable. Christopher Nolan has shared some insights into the ending of Oppenheimer. While he typically keeps mum about his films, he did shed some light on the final moments. Nolan revealed to Insider that the ending was one of the first aspects he conceptualized when writing the script. He emphasized the significance of J. Robert Oppenheimer, stating that the ending is intended to reflect the profound impact of his actions on the world. According to Nolan, the imagery of Earth being consumed by war serves as a stark reminder of Oppenheimer's enduring legacy. He believes that we live in a world shaped by Oppenheimer's decisions, and that the ending is meant to underscore this reality. In addition to discussing the thematic significance of the ending, Nolan also addresses audience reactions. He expressed satisfaction with the strong responses from viewers, indicating that it was precisely the reaction he had hoped to elicit. Drawing parallels to his previous film Inception, Nolan acknowledged that while Oppenheimer may not pose the same level of ambiguity, it still encourages discussions and diverse interpretations. Nolan explained that he aimed to create a conclusion that would leave a lasting impact, evoking a range of emotions and interpretations among audiences. Nolan's remarks highlight his deliberate approach to crafting thought-provoking endings that resonate with viewers long after the credits roll. By prioritizing thematic depth and audience engagement, he aims to create cinematic experiences that challenge and inspire audiences. So Oppenheimer isn't exactly your typical feel-good movie. Nope, it's more like a wake-up call straight from the past. You see, back in the day, Oppenheimer and his crew cooked up something they thought could end wars for good. But deep down, they knew there was a chance it could all go south real quick. Like, wipe out humanity quick. And that's a scary thought, right? Imagine sitting there knowing that the push of a button could end everything you've ever known. Now, when they finally did the test, and the world didn't immediately go up in flames, you'd think they'd be relieved, right? Wrong, because even though the planet kept on spinning, life as they knew it was never going to be the same again. Oppenheimer tried to put on a brave face, but deep down, he knew they'd opened up a can of worms they couldn't close. And that victory speech? Yeah, it was more like a nightmare. Screams, melting flesh, the works. It was a wake-up call to the horror they'd unleashed. And let's not forget that heart-to-heart with Einstein. Two brilliant minds realized they'd changed the world in all the wrong ways. Oppenheimer admitting they'd actually gone and done the unthinkable, destroyed the world they knew. It's a gut-punch moment, seeing Einstein's face fall as the reality sinks in. In the end, it's a sobering reminder of the consequences of our actions. Oppenheimer and his crew may have thought they were making history, but they ended up leaving behind a world forever scarred by their decisions. It's a cautionary tale of arrogance and ambition, reminding us that sometimes the cost of progress is just too high. So, can we forgive J. Robert Oppenheimer? The man behind the atomic bomb did what was asked of him during World War II, but his life took a dark turn after a security hearing. His friends turned their back on him, he was branded a traitor, and his personal life was dragged into the public eye. It was a humiliating ordeal, tarnishing his reputation irreparably. Despite his later efforts to advocate against nuclear weapons, his warnings fell on deaf ears, and the damage was already done. In Christopher Nolan's portrayal of Oppenheimer, we see a complex figure. He's not portrayed as a hero or a villain, but rather as a man caught in the web of politics and ambition. His reactions are a mix of awe and regret, reflecting the weight of his decisions. The film doesn't pass judgment on him. Instead, it invites viewers to ponder his role in history and the consequences of his actions. As for forgiveness, it's a complicated matter. In 2022, the Department of Energy made a symbolic gesture by reversing the decision to revoke Oppenheimer's security clearance. But has the world truly forgiven him? It's hard to say. The devastation caused by the atomic bomb lingers to this day, with the loss of countless lives and the specter of nuclear weapons looming over the world. While Oppenheimer may have sought redemption in his later years, his legacy remains a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked scientific progress. In the end, forgiveness is subjective. Some may choose to forgive Oppenheimer for his role in history, while others may not be so quick to do so. What's clear is that his story serves as a reminder of the moral complexities of scientific discovery and the enduring impact of our actions on the world. So, that was all about Oppenheimer and its ending. Share your opinions too with us in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. See you with another exciting video.